back into fighting and fell in love again with the sport because I lost that love, lost that connection, doing the wrong thing. And then, since then, been actively fighting.
Welcome back, everyone, to Fighters of Perth, the show where we aim to get to know our fighters here in Perth just a little bit better, get to know their story, their journey, and hopefully make a new friend along the way. My guest with me today, Jayden Mills. Thank you very much for coming down, man. And
thank you for having me, man.
It's my absolute pleasure, man. I always like to get the show started with just your story and how you got started in Muay Thai, how you found it, and just how you went from doing Muay Thai casually to actually competing. Just whack the mic. Yeah.
Yeah. So many moons ago, I went to the first ever Battle Colossal in Northbridge at the Northbridge Italian Club, I think it was, and I watched the fighters there, and I remember thinking, like, looking up to them, like they were heroes, like the crowd loved them, and it was just awesome to watch them fight. And I thought that's what I want to do. So not too long after, I drove past Westside Kickboxing.
Yeah.
It was on South Street then, just off the South Street actually. And I stopped in there, and that's when I started Muay Thai.
Yeah. And how long was it before, like, from starting to actually having your first fight?
I can't remember exactly, but roughly 2 years. Like, I was 14 for my first fight, and I got 2 weeks' notice from Garth. He goes, I wanted to fight, and he wanted me to fight. So I was sort of training for a fight, but I wasn't actually in like a fight camp as such. Yeah. And then he said they're looking for a 57-kilo fighter in 2 weeks. Do you want to take it? And we took it. Yeah. Against Alex Amoroso. Do you remember him?
Yeah. No, I've had a few run-ins with him.
Of course. That's right. 'Cause you had a great fight with him, actually. That's right. Yeah.
No, he's an absolute weapon. And so your first fight was him, and I think by then he probably would have had 3 fights.
Yes, he was 2-0 straight off the bat, and
So how did that first fight go?
It was good. He fractured my rib and cracked my sternum. But,
so a really great introduction to competing for you.
Yeah. But we went all 3 rounds, and I lost the judge's decision, but fell in love.
Yeah, fell in love with it. Where some people might be discouraged from an experience like that, you're like, let's go.
Yeah. It was still awesome. It's an awesome experience,
Yeah. And you obviously competing a little bit after that, and then you ended up having a bit of a break. What happened? What happened there?
I'll be honest here, I turned 16, I think, and started drinking and partying and doing all the wrong things. And I took quite a big break from Muay Thai, from competing, up to no good. And then I think when I was 21, my good friend Rory, he sent me a message, and he goes, let's get back into Muay Thai. And he offered to pick me up because I didn't have a license at the time from drink driving.
Yeah.
And he started picking me up, and we got back into it down at SMG, and then back into fighting and fell in love again with the sport because I lost that love, lost that connection, doing the wrong thing. And then since then, been actively fighting.
Yeah. And how long have you been actively fighting now? So you said that was 21. So
I
how old
think
are you now?
around 21, 22. Yeah. So the last 4 to 5 years, I've been fighting roughly 3-4 times a year. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you've had how many fights now?
17.
17. You've got a state title. That was against Tim Mitchell.
Yes.
Yeah. That was obviously a bit of an interesting fight there. What was like a leg kick that you got him with at the end?
Yeah. Leg kick in the 5th round, and it dislocated his knee.
Yeah, that's a bit unlucky for him, but that's how the fight game works.
That's how it is, man.
Yeah. And recently, obviously, everyone that's probably been following you in the Perth Muay Thai scene is probably used to seeing you with a very, very long mullet, crazy hair. So you recently did like the world's greatest shave or something like that for it? Yeah.
So this year in April, I decided to go to Thailand for 3 months. And my trainer, Tirawat, told me that they'll think you're homeless over there with your hair like that. and like telling me all of this stuff, like they're gonna think this of you and think that of you. So I decided I'd cut it off, and why not donate money while doing it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I donated $2,500, and cut it off, shaved it off.
Yeah, that's awesome. How long did it take to raise that kind of money?
Man, quick, because within 2 weeks, yeah.
Wow. So I thought it was went for a little bit longer. So 2 weeks, you raised $2.5K.
Yeah.
And then what was it like getting rid of it? Because you had it for a long time.
Yeah, I was emotionally attached.
Yeah, it's like losing a limb.
But yeah, no, once we cut it off, I haven't regretted it. It feels much better. I think I look a bit more presentable, and
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So you obviously mentioned you just recently went to Thailand. Oh, no, that was like June-ish.
April to July, yeah.
April to July? Okay. And from what I remember, you said that you had about 3 fights. Was it 3? Yeah, 3 fights.
Yeah,
all finishes,
Yep.
which are great. 2 Thais. You fought a guy from China as well.
Yeah.
So how was the whole Muay Thai training experience in Thailand? Was it your first time in Thailand? And just give us the rundown of what the whole experience was like.
Yeah, well, it was my second trip to Thailand. I went to Thailand when I was younger with my parents, but this was my first trip to Thailand for Muay Thai.
Proper Muay Thai training.
Yeah, real Thai trip. Yeah. And look, I'm not gonna lie, it was tough. It was very tough. I lived at the camp for 2 months, Eagle Muay Thai camp, which is my Thai trainer Tirawat's camp. That's his home. That's where he was from. That's why I decided to go there. And, man, just every day you're living, you're breathing, you're eating it. You're at the gym all the time, training twice a day, 6 days a week, rest day Sunday. And, it's tough, man. But, it's also amazing. Yeah.
Was it a bit of a shock to the system that first week?
I got sick 2 weeks after being there.
Was that from the training or just because of the water? Or
I don't know, man. Yeah. I think everything, after 2 weeks, I didn't want to get out of bed. Yeah, for sure.
How did that go? Because from stories I've heard a few like kind of bad stories of like if you take a sick day in Thailand, they can kind of, how to put it, they don't talk to you for a day. They think you're being lazy.
Yeah.
Did you have any experience like that?
Yes.
What happened there?
They just, it's like they're not straight up to your face like you've disappointed them, but they all let you know that you've disappointed them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just feel it. You can feel it. Yeah. So you have that pressure on you that you need to train twice a day, every day.
Yeah. And so was it just a silent treatment?
Just that sort of that no love sort of feeling. Yeah.
What surprised you most about training in Thailand?
Just the gruelingness of it, man. It's just like 2 hours in the morning, 2.5 hours in the evening, 6K in the morning, 4K in the arvo, and non-stop, round the clock. Yeah.
So that must have been a bit of a relief. Obviously, the experience itself is great. All you can do is just, like I said, eat, sleep, train. You don't have to worry about work. But then once it was done, was there kind of like a sigh of relief almost that you can kind of just relax? For a few weeks?
I was actually I was looking forward to every time I fought. I was looking forward to the fight. Not because of the fight, because you get 2 days off after each fight.
You're allowed 2 days off.
Luxury.
Yeah.
So I was more excited for that than the fights, if I'm honest.
I get it. It's like the weight cut. You get excited for the weight cut just so you can,
so you can eat. You don't care about the fight anymore.
Yeah, it's just like, I got a fight tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. Your so did you have you said that you were there for 2 months? When I say you said, I'm talking about like your posts and stuff like that. Yeah. Did you have like a 2-week holiday, or like did you finish it off with like a little bit of just to relax?
No, I was there I had 3 fights in 2 months, and then I went to one of the islands for 3 days, I think.
Yeah.
That was after my fight, so you're allowed 2 days off. I pushed it with 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I was training for a month to fight Murray Brockman for the WMF state title back here.
Yes.
And I thought it was a great idea to do my camp in Thailand. So I had a month of training in Thailand, and I flew back a week before the fight, and straight off the plane into staph and a chest infection.
So that was what, the week of the fight?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I flew in the Friday the week before, and I was at the doctor's Saturday.
Yeah, wow. So what were you thinking during all that?
Well, I thought it was a great idea, and then as soon as I got in Australia, it basically started falling apart, and I held on. You know, I didn't want to pull out. You never want to do that to someone, you know, especially when you're talking state titles. But with the seriousness of staph and also my lungs burning to do one round of pads and I needed to fight 5, it was a decision we had to make, and I had to pull out.
Yeah, and that's a smart decision because it's like at the end of the day, he doesn't get probably a good challenge of a fight, and then you make yourself look bad, and you're already hurting. You don't need to hurt more.
That's right, and it's like, you know, we're not dancing out there. We like to call it dancing, but we're not dancing. We're hurting each other, and you need to be in good condition. Yeah,
100%, man, 100%. Yeah. Everyone's got a bit of a crazy Thailand story from when they're in Thailand. Something happened. You mentioned going to an island, so I don't know what happened there. But do you have any Thailand stories that you want to share?
Yeah. So my first fight in Thailand was at Patong Stadium, Sunayam Road, I think it is. And backstage, like, the floor's just raw concrete. You know, it's not the cleanest place. There's people smoking ciggies, and
probably a trainer right next to you smoking a cigarette.
One of the boys is getting me ready, and like drop my shorts to put my box on, and there's like 4 young Thai boys in the room, and they start coming up to me, trying to grab me, telling me that I've got big genitals. And man, it was a crazy experience. I couldn't believe it, really. I couldn't believe it. I was like, the things we go through in Australia to fight, you know, it's all registered, it's all licensed, bloods, fitness, and then in Thailand, you've got kids backstage telling you you've got big genitals and trying to grab them. Yeah, it was a crazy experience, man.
A bit of a culture difference.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And was there any lessons that you kind of got from the whole, I mean, other than just training really hard, like anything that you kind of could take from that trip back with you here? Yeah,
to be grateful for everything we have in our country, you know.
Okay.
We're very spoilt. And also your excuse to not train is probably just an excuse, because you see it over there, man. They don't make excuses. They're there every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
So just that kind of that mindset change, or that mindset shift to just be a little bit more honest with yourself when you're like, do I really need this day off, or am I just
am I just being lazy?
Being lazy,
Yeah.
So in that Thai trip, you had 3 TKO wins. So you've finished people with leg kick, body shot. I think it was against Eli. With a nice body shot. You've obviously knocked people out with shots to the head. For you, what is the most satisfactory one? Which is the most satisfactory finish?
It's got to be winning the WMC state title, just because it was my first title shot. I had so many of my friends and family there. Like, you know, it was a decent leg kick KO, but it was just more everything else. Like, it was just such a build up of emotion. Like, I put so much time and effort because it was my first title shot. I really wanted to bring that belt home. So that
was good to be able to bring it home.
Yeah.
And like, was there any kind of, because you dislocated his knee, like, I know it's a fight, but you probably, is there any bad feelings about that, do you reckon? Or it's just like, it's just unlucky, you know?
Look, if it had like ongoing issues or it affected his everyday life, of course, man, I'd feel terrible. But, you know, in the ring, you want to hurt him, just like they want to hurt you. Yeah. You're in the ring at the time, you don't care. But yes, if Tim had trouble afterwards, yes, I'd feel
You're
terrible,
human
man,
after all.
For sure, yeah.
That's good. Now, I guess my question more was like you've finished with a body shot. You've done a finish there. You've done finish with the leg kicks and shots to the head. What kind of finish is the most satisfactory? Landing a body shot and dropping them, leg kick, dropping them, shot to the head. What feels the best, you reckon?
Yeah, the shot to the body is pretty decent. In the bread basket, eh? Yeah.
It's just I think it's just a feeling of just like someone crumbling over.
You,
It's like
you
just that
hear
well
it
timed.
too. You hear it, yeah. In the body shot, man. Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
Now, one of your most recent posts, you obviously mentioned about your most recent fight, and you said how it's been your hardest loss.
Yes.
Right? Can you just go a little bit more? Tell us, obviously, for those that weren't there and don't know what happened, tell us about like who you were meant to fight and what happened and why. What made it the hardest fight? Or the hardest loss. For you?
So I was fighting over in Queensland on the Muay Thai leg show. Quite a decent show over in Queensland. They had Jake Lund versus Charlie Bubb, number 3. So that was the main event. And, I was fighting a Queenslander by the name of Braden Fox. And I'd been watching his previous fights and he was knocking people out. He had rockets in his hands and I knew he was gonna be a tough bloke to fight because anyone that can put people away is hard to fight, you know. You always have to be wary of it. And there was 5 seconds left of the first round and I've thrown a switch left head kick and he's leaned back and just come through with hook cross and I hit the deck and I was lights out.
Wow.
And I've never been knocked out before. I've been dropped and, you know, I've suffered some tough losses. But, yeah, that was by far the hardest, you know. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
What made it hard? You say it's the hardest. Like, what made it hard? Was it the fact that you're knocked out?
Yeah, the fact that I was out like that. You know, it was a little bit scary to be honest, and just hurts, man. You got friends and family watching, and you got lots of supporters, and I don't know if they're relying on you, but you know. Yeah,
they want to see you win.
Yeah. Everybody wants to see you win, and you tell your mates at work, and you train so hard, and you diet, and you put in so much time, and then to hit the deck with 5 seconds left of the first round, it was tough, man. It was tough, very tough. Yeah.
What do you do coming off a loss like that? Like, what's the plan of attack?
Yeah, so I've had 2 weeks rest. Just want to reset my mind. You know, not so much rest because of the injury or anything like that. I need a reset and then back in the gym, man, on to the next one. That's the only way to deal with it. This is a tough sport. You experience the highest of highs, but that comes with the lowest of lows. But honestly, man, you just got to get on with it.
Yeah. I guess the longer you delay it, the longer it is to get back into it.
Yeah, man. No,
sure.
Back into it.
And are you taking some time off sparring or just any kind of contact in your head?
Yes. So no sparring for the next month and nothing that really shakes your head. Like nothing that's going to cause any serious shaking of the head. Just to get the most recovery that you possibly can because it can be serious, you know. Yeah.
And do you already have another fight booked, or are you just training?
No, at the moment, we were going to fight Leo Nguyen from the pit to challenge him for his WBC state title, but because of how close it was to this fight, the decision was it just wasn't the right decision to make at the time. Yeah,
and that's fair enough. You know?
Yeah.
So when do you think is a good time for you to have a fight again?
Look, I want to take, you know, a month of sparring, a month of super intense training. I'll stay fit, but maybe one more before the end of the year would be nice.
Yeah.
But if not, start next year, straight back into it.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, anyone in your scope? And obviously you just mentioned Leo,
right? No, Leo, man.
So do you want to now maybe wait, have one more fight, then fight Leo?
No. Look, with all due respect, he's a great fighter. He's a tough opponent. he's got more experience than me. But yeah, I think I can give it a good crack and we'll see what happens. Who knows? Yeah. I want that WBC belt. It's a really nice belt.
It's a beautiful belt, man. I don't know if it's just the green and the gold, what about it, but it's definitely the most coveted belt for sure.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice belt, yeah.
Yeah. Which promotions is it just the domination promotion doing the WBC?
MTGP seems to be, the one at the moment, yep.
And then domination is sometimes will have it and sometimes they have like the WMC belt. Yeah. What do you think is your biggest strength when it comes to your fights? Like, what is your, like, if you say you fight Leo, right? What's your biggest strength there, you reckon?
Oh, I don't want to give away all the secrets.
Of course, man. Of course, yeah.
No, just joking. Look, I think the kicks have to be the best for me. Yeah. Although I have put a few people down with punches. I believe because I'm so long and tall, kicks and knees seem to work great. Yeah.
And you can use your range and how to use it. Yeah. Oh, cool, man. Now, I'm going to completely change from the topic of Muay Thai because if you said you've listened to some of these episodes that I like to go into some different kind of questions. If you had any superpower, right, what would it be, why, and what would you do with the first day that you got it?
Jesus, what a question. If I had a superpower. You've put me on the spot here, man. I can't, honestly, I can't think of one that or anything I'll do with it, to be honest with you.
No, that's fair enough, man. Okay, think about, not that we want to cheat, but maybe that applies to Muay Thai, all right? What do you think would be the coolest power that could, like, help your Muay Thai?
So if you had, like, you know, the strongest hit or whatever, it'd be boring. You'd be getting in there and knocking them out every fight. You'd get sick of it.
Like, all right, okay, so how about, okay, here's some options you can pick. You can either have, let's say, not superhuman strength to the point where, like, you hit them and go flying across, but, like, just say, like, ridiculous power, right? Infinite cardio, or just, like, impeccable timing.
Yeah.
Which would you have of those three?
Cardio, man.
Just cardio for days?
Yeah. Because there's nothing worse than it gets to those hard rounds at the end and you're really tired. You know? You're sucking for wind. Like, I see when it gets tough, it's normally the bloke who's got that heart and got that cardio.
And you can always finish, like, you're both throwing shots, but the other guy's throwing, like, just one more. One extra shot.
Yeah, so I'd have to take cardio.
Yeah.
Plus, if I could take it and then I didn't have to run and all the other stuff, that'd be nice.
Cardio just to rock up for your fight. That's pretty cool. That'd be pretty nice. Yeah. Talking about cardio, has there been a fight where you've really felt it? Like, even fight, maybe you did trained well, but just there's a fight where just those last few rounds you really were having to suck it in. Like, you just felt like for some reason your cardio just wasn't there.
100%, man. Nathan Embleton.
Oh, yeah.
We all know who he is. And,
I want to get him on. I think that'd be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, for sure. You should. He's doing well in the Muay Thai scene. He's a tough man to fight.
Yeah.
We fought 3 years ago. And we only fought 3 rounds, but by the end of the third round, I felt like I'd done 10, eh?
Yeah, I think it's just that pace he puts on. You have to keep up with it.
He didn't stop. He didn't stop.
Man, I wonder what he does to just it's genetic, or just like he just must train like an absolute animal just to keep going like that.
I'd had enough in the third round. I'd had enough, man. I was tired.
No, I can imagine. Which has been your hardest fight camp for, and which fight was it? If you can remember.
Tim, for the WNC, that was the hardest fight camp because it was my first time fighting 5-3s, which is, traditionally real Muay Thai rounds. That's how it is. And, I just didn't want to let that opportunity slip. So, I was running, your standard 5Ks night and then busting out a 10K on Saturday and just, really, really pushing it. Doing time, my trainer we weren't even using a timer, It was the rounds that he wanted.
Classic. That's the worst because you don't know, like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but you don't know. It's like, okay, if I've got 2 minutes, I know I'll push this much. If I've got 5 minutes, I'll push this much. But you don't know, so you
save yourself a little bit.
So you don't know. It's kind of, I don't like that.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't like
made
it,
up
no.
rounds and made up times. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that was my toughest fight camp. Yeah.
Yeah. And was it also just because, like you said, not just the hard training, but the pressure? Because I said it was your first 5-3s. That was your first state title shot as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So you probably would have put a bit of pressure on yourself for that as well.
Yeah. That doesn't include Thailand though, because Thailand was 3 months fight camp. That was just one big grueling camp.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Thailand aside.
Yeah, you got to
obviously,
put that aside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's something else.
So, yeah, and another question I like to ask every episode is, what do you think is the meaning of life?
I'm not a smart enough person to answer that question.
Fair enough. I like the humility.
Oh, bro, I'm a Muay Thai fighter.
Yeah. Well, do you feel as though there is some sort of purpose or meaning? Or,
yeah, man. I think you should try to be a good person because karma is real. And I think, you just look after the people that are close to you and the people that look after you and you know, mean a lot to you. And yeah, man, just try to be a good person. Yeah.
That's the meaning of life, just to be the best person you can be.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You say karma is real. Can you tell me a little bit more? What has convinced you that a sense of like karma or justice is real?
I just think, you know, if you're doing the wrong thing or you're not being a great person, you experience it. You'll know yourself. You'll feel it. You won't feel happy. You'll be, you know, feeling depressed and just you experience bad things back too. Yeah.
It just seems things seem to go bad.
Yep.
And for those that are wanting to follow, you know, your journey now, and hopefully your fight with Leo at some, I don't know if this is a call out. I know.
No, it's not a call out. It's all respect to Leo. All respect to Leo.
Yeah.
It's
He's
the
just the next guy in the
WBC
line,
belt.
yeah. It's not the man, it's the belt that you're after.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Someone that wants to follow your journey, kind of, you know, keep up with what you're doing. What's the best way for them to do that?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Follow me on Instagram. Yeah. I like to try show everyone a little bit about, you know, my life and the Muay Thai journey and follow me on Instagram and they can have a look. Yeah.
And what's your Instagram name or is it called Instagram handle? I don't know, I'm not young enough for that kind of stuff. But yeah.
_ Jayden Mills.
Jayden Mills, yeah. Yeah, and you're gonna get I'm not aware. Do you have like a fight nickname or is it just Jayden Mills?
Oh, it's actually funny because the boys at the gym were saying originally should be Jayden the Mullet Mills.
Right, but now the mullet's gone.
Yes, now the mullet's gone. My good friend Rory from SMG, great bloke, he reckons it's got to be the mongrel.
The mongrel. Okay, why does he say that?
I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
You definitely fight like one, so...
Yeah, sometimes I can, you know, behave like a bit of a mongrel, so yeah.
You seem like a good enough guy, man.
Yeah, man. No, I try to be, honestly, yeah. It's all fun and games, but I do now that I'm older, I like to think a little bit more, I like to think I'm a bit more mature. I do like to try be a decent person. Yeah.
I'm glad people get to see that side, you know. Again, the whole point of this is for people to see who you are and not just this guy throwing kicks at another person in the ring and looking good while doing it, and generally with a nice, beautiful flowing mullet, now which is gone. But like we're humans as well, you know, and we have thoughts and we have ideas, and there's generally more to us than just how hard we can throw an elbow. So thank you for coming down and sharing that with us, and I really hope I can get you on again in the future.
Thank you, mate. Cheers. Appreciate being on the show, man. Thank you. Thank you.